Is this going to happen all the time, you carrying my boxes?
Of course not.
In the repair shop today,
Now that's good. That's really good.
our talented team are working on some right royal assignments
Red, white, blue. Red, white, blue.
in honour of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee.
The pearlies are a key part of British culture. So working on this pearly suit just seems absolutely perfect for this occasion.
It's been 70 years since Queen Elizabeth II was crowned, and we've been commemorating the occasion ever since. To honour her, our experts will be putting their heritage craft skills to work on 4 very special fixes.
This is the point where I have to really keep the faith.
Starting with a mission of national importance.
How we doing? Steve, come see.
Representing Queen and Country, Peter McGowran is here to see Steve Fletcher.
Amazing.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Come on through.
Likewise.
Thank you.
See, Steve, this is what you call making an effort. When I tell you to make an effort, I do tell him. How come you've got this uniform on?
Well, because I'm a yeoman warder at the Tower of London. I'm the chief yeoman warder.
I'm known as Beefeaters. What's the Are they the same?
It's an old nickname.
Ah.
No one really knows where it comes from.
So what have you brought in for us?
Yeah, well, we brought a lantern.
Okay.
It's a special lantern to us, and there she is.
That's a lantern.
Hold on, let me just take this in a minute. We've had lanterns here before.
Yeah.
You haven't had a lantern like that.
Well, the lantern is what we use every night of the year to help lock down the tower, to lock 2 sets of gates in the tower. This is how we do the locks to put the keys into. It's coming up to, 103 years old.
I'm stunned.
I'm lost for words.
Yeah, same here.
It's lit by a single candle every night. I'll march out at 21:53, 7 minutes to 10 at night, on the dot.
Why 7 minutes to 10?
Because it has to be done dead on 10 o'clock. I know it takes me exactly 7 minutes to get to the base of those stairs.
Escort to the keys, by the centre. Quick, march!
We get challenged by a soldier. Holt, who comes there? I shout out the keys. He says, whose keys? I say Queen Elizabeth keys. He then says, pass Queen Elizabeth keys. And then we go up on the Broadwalk stairs, take my Tudor bonnet off.
Yeah.
God preserve Queen Elizabeth,
Yeah.
and the bugler sounds the last post. And I'll take this lantern with the Queen's keys and lock them up safely for the rest of the night. It's a massive responsibility because the crown jewels there's 20 towers there.
Yeah.
It's been there since 1078, the Tower of London. So nearly 1,000 years. And we love looking after our boss, Her Majesty.
What's actually wrong with it?
This handle's starting to come off and
See a bit of movement.
the
in it.
rivets are coming out there. Some of the glass is broken now, so the wind's getting in.
Okay.
I'm panicking about the candle being blown out. All the legs have been smashed in a bit here.
Yeah.
Because it's been broken, is it still being used now?
We're using it. We used it last night. So she's looked after us for 103 years.
Yeah.
I think it's time that we looked after her.
Steve, you ready for this one?
Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on it, actually.
It's a great year to do it as well. The Platinum Jubilee, Her Majesty's 70th.
Yes.
You guys got anything planned? Going to be busy?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
There's a lot of parades happening and gun salutes. We're having a street party in the tower, all the residents, so, we're looking forward to that.
I'm thinking you need it back as soon as possible, don't you?
If you can, yeah.
It's a real honour, I must say, for us to have this here.
It will definitely get looked after.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You take
Bye-bye
care
now.
now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that handle's quite loose, isn't it? And if you're swinging that... Oh, good, that's really heavy. So I've definitely got to fix all of that to make it secure.
The glass, I can get Matt to come and have a look at this
Oh,
for
that's
us.
a good idea. I'm going to get it over to my bench.
You're excited, aren't you? Look
I
at you.
am really
You can't
excited.
wait. Go on then.
I just love this lantern. All the history that comes along with it. It's amazing. This has just been placed down quite heavily so many times that the feet have been pushed in. And that's why the whole thing is rocking around like that. I need to work out a way that I can just hammer a dent out and stabilise it. This top is really in quite a poor way, and it will fail soon. I think it's probably best if I take this whole handle holder off. I'm going to grind the top of these rivets off. Got to be so careful not to damage all of this surface around. Right, let's see if I can just tap that through now. Good. Excellent. Right, I'll get that over to Matt. Start thinking about how I'm going to actually repair this.
Next, some royalty of a different kind. Diane Gould and her son Terry Martin are calling upon the needlework know-how of Julie and Amanda.
Hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
Ah, very well, thank you.
All right.
Ah.
What have you got in the bag, first and foremost? What did you just plonk down?
It was really heavy.
It was, wasn't it?
Well, they're an assortment of pearl buttons from many years ago. Original mother of pearl or oyster shells.
And that's a link to this jacket here.
Yes.
Don't tell me that's a Pearly King and Queen jacket, is it?
It's the start of one, Jay. My dear old dad, Alfie, was the Pearly King of St Pancras. He had a selection of suits, because usually the Pearly King sews the suits.
Right.
Yeah, he did a lot of work on them, but this one he didn't manage to finish before he passed away, sadly.
So are you a queen?
I'm a queen, yes. And then we have Terry, who's going to be the Pearly Prince of St Pancras. And it's a special year, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
A special year.
Yeah.
Lovely
Yeah.
queen. Platinum, eh?
Yeah, platinum.
Amazing.
Make it up,
Yeah?
could ya?
You got a street party planned or anything?
We've got a few events. There's one hush-hush.
But if
This
we have this done, then
actually-
he's going to be
yeah,
wearing that.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Pearly King and Queens, what's the history behind it?
It goes back many, many years to costermongers. A coster is an old English apple and a monger being seller.
Right.
So costermonger,
Yeah.
market trader. There were 28 boroughs in London at one time.
Yeah.
And each borough elected a Coster King and a Coster Queen from the individual market traders. They would collect, say, farthings, pennies, for the other costermongers that traded on their market.
Yeah.
So if one of the traders fell on hard times, this collection would help them for a tricky time.
Okay.
And in order to have a bit of pizzazz and be noticed, they'd sew a line of pearl flashers down the seams of their trousers and around their battered old waistcoats. And so from the Coster King and the Coster Queen, there emerged in 28 boroughs a Pearly King and Queen.
Right.
My dad lived, breathed and died it, Jay.
Yeah.
He bought 2 London taxis and he covered them in pearl buttons. He was like a bit of a celebrity. He'd open the doors up, put Chaz and Dave on, and he'd be out there collecting for charities. You know, he was proud that he was able to carry on the tradition.
So the buttons that are on there are his handiwork?
Yeah. This is why it's a bit special, because then, you know, we can carry it on and pass it on to Terry. But it needs a bit of TLC and also some nice designs to finish it off. So when Terry here puts his whistle on, whistle and flute suit,
Of course.
he'll look proper. He'll look a proper
You
prince.
do look, yeah. So what you're saying is you would like us to decorate it?
Please.
Wow. That is quite an honour, isn't it?
It is,
That, you know,
yes,
you're
yeah.
letting us do it. So we need some clues, because this is going to be your jacket.
Yeah,
Is there anything particular that you would like incorporated into the design?
it will always have Pearly Prince of St Pancras emblazoned on the back, but I was in the RAF for 5 years, so a reference to that would be nice. My grandfather used to play the spoons, so some spoons would be good.
Crowns, royalty. My dad was in the Merchant Navy.
A reference to that would be nice as well, just some ideas, some inspiration.
OK. Are we going to be able to sneak a teddy bear in there somewhere, do you think?
I'd be just delighted to see what you create. It's going to be far better than anything I could ever do, that's for sure.
Actually, very exciting.
Well, it sounds like we've got some work to do, so thank you for bringing this in.
Thank you for taking this task to hand. sewing all them buttons on.
All right, don't rub it in. You
Thank
take
you.
care now.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go, just sliding out. Great.
We've got a whole jacket
And trousers.
to design. I'm very excited the fact that this is so different for us.
Yeah. Let's get these buttons away because I think you're going to have to get our notepads out.
OK, I'll start drawing. So what are you going to take on then in your sketches? Where are we going to start?
Spoons. You can do the RAF symbol.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you. How are you going to do yours?
You just worry yourself about how you're going to do yours.
OK. I'm happy with mine. What have you
See?
got? I envisaged this on the back of the jacket.
Yeah.
And then pearly prints, St Pancras, and then that underneath in the middle.
Perfect. I was thinking of doing crossed spoons.
Right.
But then I went off, that looked a bit daft, and I thought I'd try and have them looking like they're actually playing.
Oh, OK. See, I can't work like that.
Why?
I don't know, I have to see buttons on my paper.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we're a good team.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I better carry on then.
What's next?
Anchor?
OK.
Outside, glassmaster Matt Nichols tackles the broken panes in the Tower of London lantern,
That's this side almost done.
while Steve has come up with a plan to get it back on a firmer footing in time for the Platinum Jubilee.
When Peter brought this in, he said it wobbles around a lot. This foot mainly has been pushed right in. So I'm going to try and bash that dent back out, making it stable again. So I've got this metal rod that I'm going to pop down there. I'm going to have to be really careful because I don't want to hit it too much because I don't want to split the brass. Absolutely perfect. I'm really pleased that's made it really steady. That's going to make it so much easier in so many ways. Even when they're cleaning it, it's really nice not to have it rocking around.
This is one of the panels here, which has a broken piece in it, so it's going to need replacing. Now, I've got a really, really good match for this glass. All of this is antique, which is mouth blown, so it's not a regular machine-made glass. So I'm replacing like for like, and the tint is bang on. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting on the inside of the line that I've drawn. Right. Okay, just offering in the glass now, just to check that it kind of looks all right. That's all nicely in place, so what I need to do now is solder the old lead to the new.
Been racking my brains about what to do with this handle because over the years this has just been wearing away. The handle has got thinner and thinner. Successive people have tried putting filler pieces of brass tube in there just to try and repair it the best way they can. I need to renew all of this because I want this to last hundreds of years more. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this handle off. There we go. Now I've got the handle out, I'm going to take out these little filler pieces. I'll then turn up a tube that's going to go in there, and that will be much stronger and less susceptible to wear as well. This solder is going into the joint really nicely now. It went straight in. Excellent. Now I just need to let that cool down, get the excess solder off, reshape everything, polish it, and then it'll be ready to fit the handle.
You doing anything special for the Jubilee?
Oh, I haven't thought yet.
You've got to have a street party, ain't you?
Yeah, there could be. Yeah.
I might go to a couple, I think. Maybe 3.
Cake here,
Yeah,
cake there.
cake everywhere, cake and tea. That'll be me.
Here to see ceramics queen Kirsten Ramsay is Helen Ringland, with a precious keepsake celebrating the Queen's great-great-grandmother.
Hello. Hiya.
Hello.
Hi.
Now that's a beautiful plate.
Yeah, we absolutely love it. This is my Jubilee plate. I
Wow.
know this year we've got Queen Elizabeth, but this is from Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee in 1887.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
It was always on my grandparents' wall, and on the back it says painted by Jonathan Foster, and my grandfather was Jonathan Foster Tate.
Yeah.
And it was his namesake, who we think was his uncle, who painted it for an exhibition in Newcastle upon Tyne back in 1887.
How extraordinary.
So he hand-painted this?
He hand-painted this. I've got 2 plates, actually. The other one is slightly larger, and from what we know, he wasn't a painter.
I was going to ask, was he related to the potteries or anything like that? No.
My grandfather's family were all builders and bricklayers. I just wish I could tell you more about Jonathan Foster, who painted the plane. But my dad's side of the family, we know very little about. You know, I've tried searching further back and just drawing a blank. I just think somebody who, I think, worked with their hands in a building trade to be able to produce something like that is absolutely fantastic. We just love them. And to be honest, these plates are the only thing we have of my dad's family. My mom gave them to me probably 20 years ago when we moved into the house we live in now, and they've been on my dining room walls ever since.
Wow.
So they're very, very precious to us.
So how did the damage get caused?
Oh, my poor mom. My dad was decorating the sitting room and she was taking them down so they wouldn't get covered in paint, and she dropped it. And
oh, poor woman.
Absolutely devastated because she knew how precious it was. But my dad was just the kindest, mildest, most lovely man in the world.
Yeah.
And he just said, don't worry, you know, I'll get a bit of glue. But he did, but it's a pretty unprofessional job, I have to say. But my dad died a long, long time ago. They're all we've got left, really, of his side of the family, and they've been broken for nearly 50 years now.
Goodness.
I think he's done an all right job, though, hasn't it? Because it's still there.
It's still
stuck.
there at the moment. That's all that matters. You've got the pieces, so that's a good starting point.
Is Mum still with us?
No, she died just a few months ago. So I know.
I'm sorry to
But she'd be absolutely thrilled to hear that her cack-handedness was going to be repaired, so yeah.
So what's prompted you to try and get the plate fixed?
We were sitting in our dining room at Christmas looking up at the plates, and I said, wouldn't it be fantastic if we could get that repaired? We could have it fixed in time for Queen Elizabeth's Jubilee.
Amazing, yeah.
Perfect reason, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for bringing this in. We'll get it back to you in time.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Look forward to seeing you again.
You take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ceramic souvenirs have been a popular way of marking royal events for the last 3 centuries, with industrialised production methods like transfer prints producing mass appeal items. Being hand-painted, this plate is particularly special.
It's a really beautifully painted object. The most important thing is to establish whether this decoration has just been painted on as some kind of enamel or whether it's been placed in a kiln and fired on. And that would actually fuse it to the ceramic and would mean that it would be a lot stronger. I'm just going to use some acetone. I've really got to be careful here because what I don't want to happen is to remove any of this paint, and it could easily happen if I use the wrong method. That seems stable. I'm not losing any of the colour, so I'm guessing that this has been fired, which is good. That will make my work a lot easier. I'm going to clean this now that I know that I can do so safely before I start dismantling this area.
Busy with their regal needlework, creating some pearly designs to commemorate the Jubilee and beyond, Amanda and Julie.
I have never sewn on so many buttons, and I know I've got hundreds more to go, but actually I'm quite enjoying myself. For the trouser legs, I'm sticking to the quite bright white, what I think of as a traditional button for a pearly suit. Di and Terry made reference to the old style with flashes of buttons, and this to me is a bright flash of colour. This design, it's a family image which she's asked us to incorporate. It has 3 leaves on it and it represents faith, hope and love. And the rippling effect at the bottom is how the sort of charity aspect of the pearlies ripples out into the community, which I think is rather lovely. So I hope Di and Terry like the design.
How we doing, ladies? Yeah. Haven't made a start yet.
Oh, please.
I'm only joking with you.
Cheeky.
I'm only
Cheeky.
joking. So that's the trousers. How's the jacket coming along?
Yeah,
Is it looking...
I've got the wording and I've done the anchor, which is to represent Terry's grandfather, who was in the Merchant Navy.
OK, so it sounds like a lot of work. So how can I help?
I would like you to end this stem.
Right. I sew a button, I go through, and then before I finish, I tie it round.
No. With this, it's quite different.
OK. But that makes it secure, though, doesn't it?
Yes, we'll be doing the same thing, but you don't secure it off. You carry on to the next button, because they're all on a chain.
We took our example, look, from Di's dad. That's exactly what he did. He did them on a chain.
All right, we'll keep the tradition going then.
Now, inside there, Jay, is a piece of cork board. Keep the cork board under where you're sewing, and then you won't stitch the legs together.
I've sewn on many a button, I have.
Good.
But not as many as this. You guys must be dreaming of buttons now, because you're just using so many. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, we better get on with it.
Yeah.
The lettering is all now finished. Now I'm moving on to the RAF symbol. So I'm just on the bit now where you have to put the wings in, which I believe is an eagle. So I'm changing the colour slightly. These have all got like a slightly pinky, peachy hue, which I'm really enjoying. It does seem really appropriate to be working on a pearly suit, as it's our Queen's Platinum Jubilee this year. The pearlies are a key part of British culture, and the pearly ethos, if you like, really fits in with this because their whole life is centred around bringing people together and community spirit, and so working on this pearly suit just seems absolutely perfect for this occasion. We're actually putting a little bit of ourselves onto this garment, And part of the history will be part of the repair shop. I mean, that is incredible. It's going to go on and on for years. Yeah, I can't wait to see it, you know, all come together. But we've still got a long way to go.
Restoring the lantern that has secured the Tower of London for over a century, Steve is beginning to see the light.
Right. This is the part that I've been really looking forward to. Matt has made a really good job of repairing these glass panels. Now I can get the handle on, which is the crowning glory. I was just thinking whilst doing this that this screwdriver was the first tool I ever bought in my life, and I was around about 8 or 9 when I bought it, and I think that was the time when I actually visited the Tower of London, and I would have never in a million years have thought that I'd be working on some lamp from the Tower of London one day and using the screwdriver. It's an amazing, amazing thought, and I feel so proud to be working on this lamp. Right, that's all really firmly screwed on. Fantastic, absolutely marvellous. I'm really pleased with that. I'm really, really pleased. What do you reckon?
That is a picture.
The Tower of London is home to the crown jewels, including the crown worn by the Queen at her coronation. And Chief Beefeater Peter McGowran is back to collect the lamp that helps keep them safe and secure.
How we doing?
How you doing, Jay? Steve?
So how you been?
I've been good, but been waiting for this day.
You've been waiting for this day?
How have you been coping without it?
Well, it hasn't been long, but I know it's out the tower, and it hasn't left the tower for 103 years, so I've been on my guard.
And it's got some duties to be doing when it gets back there, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, that'll be rocking and rolling this evening, trust me.
All right.
I want it back where it belongs.
Steve, do you want to do the honours?
Yep.
My God. Well, I never. Look at that top. Oh, it's solid. It's not rocking.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no rattling at all. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And Matt, we had fixed the glass as well, just sort it out.
Oh, I'm chuffed to bits. This is worth showing off.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be in shock, but I am. My goodness. Takes a lot to shock me, you know, but...
No, that's good.
And I like things shiny, but I've never seen anything as shiny as this. It's absolutely amazing. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
God, absolutely brilliant.
Do you know what? It's been an absolute privilege. I had to get it right for the next so many 100 years.
That's what I want, you know. I didn't want it to just die at 103 years and be forgotten about. Yeah, really chuffed.
Would you do us the honour and lighting it?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Can't wait.
Okay.
There she goes.
That is quality.
And she's looking good, isn't she?
Yeah.
Looking good.
Thank you for bringing it in. It's been a real honour for everybody taking part in it.
Thanks again.
All right?
Really appreciate it.
You take care.
Bye-bye
See you
now.
soon. Bye-bye. Wow, look at that, man. You're made up, ain't you? Eh?
I really am.
It's history there, isn't it?
It really is.
That's history, man.
I'm really over the moon with it. Really over the moon. I just thought the time to do it was the Platinum Jubilee year of Her Majesty the Queen. It's for our history, our traditions. This is my bit to the boss.
Look at that. Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it?
I know it looks incredibly rusty, but I just love it.
This rusty but trusty steed belongs to John Phillips from Somerset, who's hoping the barn's bike expert, Tim Gunn, can get it roadworthy again.
Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to the barn.
Thank you.
So this is your very long bike?
It is, yes. It's 2 bikes, actually. Just cut the front forks.
Oh, I see.
Smacked it together.
So what made you come up with the idea of putting 2 bikes together?
Well, my wife and I wanted to go on holiday.
Okay.
Together, and we toyed with a cycling holiday. But if you've got 2 separate bikes, one person tends to be far ahead of the other. Tandems were quite expensive, and I said, well, we'll join 2 bikes together. And then, because it was Jubilee year, we said, well, we'll paint it red, white and blue. It was hand-painted, and the paint used was tractor paint.
Okay.
Was it really?
Yes, it was all painted on with a brush.
Whereabouts were you going on the bike?
Well, we were going to take it over to France, me and my wife, Deb. First time she got on the bike was 5 o'clock that morning.
First time ever?
Yes. Our original destination was Paris, but it was a huge downpour most of that summer. And when we got to Bayeux, and it was still raining, we decided that's where we're going to stay. And the locals loved it. They didn't know why we painted it red, white and blue. They just saw the tricolour.
Oh, right.
Yes. They were cheering us on.
Your trip to France, was that the only outing that this bike has had, or have you been on other trips?
We haven't, because the year after we had our first child. But we kept the bike. My wife sadly passed away last year. Cancer.
How long were you married for?
48 years.
Gosh.
But we've been together 50. I mean, she was incredibly brave and loved her dearly. And when she died, I then thought, well, we're coming to another Jubilee year, and I'll try and get this sorted. It is in a sorry state, but it brings me back a memory of her.
Yeah. How do you see it finished?
I'd like to keep the colours, obviously red, white and blue. Would like the rust gone, if possible.
Okay.
I don't just want it to be spruced up and put on a plinth.
Yeah.
I want to use it to raise money for cancer research, doing some sponsored rides. It's also cathartic for me. It's a process of helping me to come to terms with her death.
Okay.
There seems to be a lot of work to do, but you like a challenge, don't you, Tim?
I do love a challenge, and that certainly is one. It's a worthy challenge.
Well, thank you, Will. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Obviously, it's been sitting around for an awful long time. There's an awful lot of rust on it. So the first things first is to get it all apart.
Tim, I saw you wheeling this awesome bike over. I had to come and have a look.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Look
I
at
just
it.
would love your advice on what to do with the paintwork.
All this can be stripped and sandblasted, and we can repaint it in this same colour scheme. Take lots of pictures, measure bits, and get it exactly the same.
One of the things that John mentioned was the fact that he painted it with tractor paint. So it'd
Okay.
be quite good to use or match it as best as we can.
I've got to find some tractor paint, have I?
Yeah. Well, if that's what you originally used, that'd be great to do it, I think.
Fine. Bits like this. We can even leave the little brush mark to try and put back in some of that charm that is in it now.
Okay, brilliant.
As Tim sorts through his pile of parts, a jubilant Kirsten has executed some rather more delicate dismantling.
The old adhesive, whilst it's done its job really well, it looked quite unsightly. quite keen to see these edges and try and get them clean. Fantastic. That's one piece off. And there's the second piece. I'm just trying some acetone here on the adhesive, and I can see that it's going quite jelly-like. So I'm going to just put some on the break edge and then use my scalpel to pick off the softened adhesive. Right, I'm ready to bond this now, and I've got a 2-part epoxy resin, and I tend to just place it in the middle of the break edge, because then when you put the pieces together it squashes out to the edges. I'm just going to use a bit of tape, and that's just going to hold this in place. This is going together very nicely. And whilst it's always really lovely to see something back whole again, I'm going to have to try and hide these cracks, so there's still a long way to go.
Now that's class, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a ready-made filler. What I want to do is just push the filler down into the cracks and trying to get it as smooth as I can. If you can get this really flat, really smooth and perfectly aligned, you're halfway there to losing that damage. I'm going to leave that to harden now, and then I'm going to give it a smooth over with some sandpaper. This is the point where I have to really keep the faith. You've got a completely flat, smooth surface which catches the light, and even the thickness of very, very thinly applied paint shows up. There is just nowhere to hide. So I will put one layer on and then allow that to dry and smooth it back, and then put another layer on and just build them up until these lines gradually start to disappear.
Patience has also been tested for Julie and Amanda, having hand-sewn hundreds of buttons on the Pearly Prince's suit. And amongst the commemorative Jubilee designs, Julie's been inspired to add one special, final motif.
I was really keen to get an image of the barn prominently on this jacket. I think the barn is quite an iconic shape. I've managed to find some beautiful, quite dark, larger buttons, which I think are very appropriate for the walls of the barn. And I'm thrilled to say I've got this slightly yellowy tone, smaller button, which I think will be perfect for the thatched roof. Although Amanda and I have managed to include pretty much all the symbols on here that Terry and Di wanted, we've left plenty of places for it to be added to or re-embellished as new things happen. And I think it's really exciting that this jacket is going to be part of a new history for Terry and his family. I've just got to stitch this last image in place.
Following in the footsteps of a tradition dating back to Victorian London, Di's late father started the suit, but died before he could see it bestowed upon the newest Pearly Prince of St Pancras, Terry.
Wow! Oh, look at you! Look at you! Welcome back. You look amazing.
How long did it take you to cover your suit?
The thing is, it's still a work in progress. So I add and I sometimes take off. So I've had this suit 40 years.
But hopefully that's how you'll feel about this one when you see it. It's a work in progress, isn't it?
You haven't had quite 40 years, have you?
No,
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But we hope that we've done you proud.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Are you?
Just imagining what the designer looked like and how it looked on Terry.
So are you ready to see this?
Yeah. Yeah, can't wait.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. It's beautiful, it's beautiful.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm
well.
struggling to take it all in, actually, the detail.
So on this arm you've got the horseshoe. This is our beautiful barn.
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous.
And then over this side you've got your taxi.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, Dad would love
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. And then on the back,
Oh, my
wow.
goodness.
you've got your anchor, your RAF
RAF, yeah,
emblem,
the ensign, yeah.
and the year to represent the Jubilee and the year that this suit came here.
Wow, it's incredible.
Ladies, it's like a little bit overwhelming, the amount of effort and work and love you put into that, because when a Pearly puts a button on a suit, we focus on the love and the intention behind why we do this. I can see there's been so much love put into that suit. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And
You're welcome.
Thanks so much, it's amazing.
You're welcome.
it is absolutely amazing.
Terry, I'd love to see it on.
Oh, I'm itching to try it on,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Before Terry puts the old jacket on, he needs his tipfer on his loaf, because no Pearly is complete without his tipfer and the little neckerchief. There you go, babe. So now, as I'll put this on you, this is where you become your Pearly Prince.
It's kind of a bit like a coronation.
Look at this. Give us a twirl.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. I haven't had a suit before, so it's my first one.
Wow.
It's amazing. My grandfather started it, and then you lovely ladies put in so much work to give it its character. It's just fantastic. It means so much.
Just marvellous.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. We've loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
Take
Thanks.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Look at that.
Oh, the suit is incredible. The motifs are just so unique. I've not seen anything like them before on a Pearly jacket, so particularly getting the barn in there and the teddy bear, it's just so special.
I can't wait to get Terry out on the streets with me. And Dad, my old dad, would have just been so made up.
Incredibly happy, so proud.
The Pearly suit may be all set to hit the streets of London, but Tim has a long road ahead on his refurbishment of the tandem that carried a couple on a Jubilee tour of France.
I've got the rear wheel apart. That's the 3-speed hub gear. Actually, it's quite refreshing to see something that has come off this tandem that's actually in good condition. So I'm probably just going to service it, and that's all I'm going to do. The next stage is to dismantle the front wheel. I could spend hours and hours and hours trying to undo each of these spokes, but actually I don't need to do that because I'm replacing them anyway. These have had their life, so it's a case of just cutting each one out. There we go. As you can see here, you've got this lovely shiny stainless steel rim underneath the old paint. These are really good quality rims, and it will actually polish quite nicely. Once everything's clean, it's just a case of rebuilding the wheels with lovely coloured spokes. I think it's going to look absolutely amazing.
I did have some real concerns when Tim showed me this bike in pieces. Some of the rust was really quite bad, and sending things off to be sandblasted is always a nerve-wracking time for me. But I've got all of the pieces of John's tandem sandblasted, stripped, primed, and I'm very pleased to say structurally everything is in good condition. I've got to be honest, this is one of the easiest but also most difficult, challenging paint jobs I've ever had to do, because I know how much this paint job meant to John. Because of that, I'm going to do my absolute best to try and recreate the paint job that he did all those years ago. Oh, that is lovely. This is definitely my first time using tractor paint. This paint is kind of designed to be brushed on. And all those brush marks should sort of like float down and should leave you with a nice smooth finish. Right, put the brush down, stop fiddling. That's it. The blue on the bars is done. I'll put those to one side, that can dry. Then I can start on the red.
I've got 40 spokes for you.
40?
40. That's the rear wheel.
40 spokes on one wheel?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah, you want to try building it.
Okay. Right, well, I better get painting.
Yeah. Good luck.
I do love some of your old tools, Tim. It's an obscure-looking machine.
It's called a geared spoke roller. It's about 120 years old.
You can't beat the old stuff, can you?
Yeah. I love using original tools.
Yeah.
Because they have such soul and history to them, and you just never know who's used them before.
Amazing.
I just love it. This is a really, really tricky wheel build. We've got 40 spokes in the wheel itself. It is quite a complicated pattern because it basically overlaps. So the next one is a blue spoke, and that goes in the opposite way. Hang on, no, that's wrong. I've done that wrong already. So red, white, and blue. So this is not getting very far here. Red, white. Red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red. I really, really love building bicycle wheels, but this one is proving to be a real fight. I'm not even halfway through the rear wheel, and I've got the other front wheel to do as well. But now I'm starting to get the correct pattern. I think it's going to look absolutely amazing.
Flexing her Midas touch, Kirsten, adding some illustrious flourishes to the plate painted to mark Queen Victoria's 50 years on the throne.
What I really want to do is try and recreate this lovely stippled design. This stage is really lovely. This is where I hope that the work that I've put in up until this point allows these breaks to just disappear. Sometimes random patterns are almost more difficult because you don't have anything in particular to follow. I guess the thing is not to overdo this, just to put back what's required, and you have to know when to stop. I can't wait to see Helen's reaction when she sees this, and it's just about ready for another Jubilee year.
Oh, that does look nice.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Helen. Lovely to see you.
You all right?
Excited?
Why are you excited? Come on.
Oh, I just can't wait to see it. I can just see the outline there, and I just can't imagine what it's going to look like repaired, because
I can only remember it broken.
So have you been chatting about it since you left it here?
Oh, yeah. Everybody has been chatting about it. So, yeah, the family are really excited.
Yeah.
They can't wait to see it.
You're going to do the honours?
I can, yeah.
Go on then.
All right, Ellen.
You can't believe how excited you get. Oh, my goodness. How do you do that? I just can't see any repairs or cracks anymore. Oh.
She's really looking, Jane.
Yeah, she is looking.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Oh, you're so clever. My eyes aren't drawn to the bottom anymore. I just look right into the middle.
Yeah.
Good. That's great.
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you so much.
So it's going to go on the wall with its partner?
Yeah, I know as soon as the family come up the next time, it's just going to be gathered around the plate and having a look at it and just reminiscing. And it's just fabulous that this year, you know, the Platinum Jubilee, and this is for Queen Victoria Golden Jubilee.
So you guys could have your own Jubilee party and people could come and gaze at the plates.
You could.
I could get all the Victorian china out and do a little afternoon tea party.
That sounds wonderful.
I'll wait for the invite.
Top of the list, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, it really means a lot.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank
All
you.
right, you
Bye.
take care now. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
It was just absolutely incredible. Just to look at it and see it how it would be 135 years ago was amazing. Kirsten has done a fantastic job and my mum would just be absolutely over the moon about it. And here we are in the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and it's the year I've had it fixed, so it's just like meant to be.
Flying the flag for the red, white and blue, it's finally time for Tim to rebuild the tandem.
Once you start putting a bike like this back together again, you've just got to be methodical and just take things step by step. Now that we got the front forks in and the front handlebars, I can now start seeing what this bike's going to look like. And I think John, hopefully, will be really pleased with the way that it's been refinished. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what it rides like.
This homemade tandem hadn't been ridden since it took a pair of sweethearts on a Jubilee jaunt to France in 1977.
We do it, Tim? Done?
Yeah.
John is back to relive the memory, and his late wife's sister, Sally, has come to share the moment.
Hello.
Hello.
How we doing?
Good, thank you.
Good, yes.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
So how are you feeling, John?
Mixed. It's a year since my wife passed away, so... And this means a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want it to be cyclable. I want it to be roadworthy because I've commandeered Sally to providing it's in good shape to do a London to Brighton with me in September.
Wow.
This is quite special.
You ready to see it?
I think so.
Okay, come on in, Tim.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
That's amazing.
Crumbs.
John, look at the spokes. Red, white and blue spokes.
Oh, blimey, I don't know what to say. When I'd left it, I wasn't sure whether some of it was repairable. I wasn't sure whether the rust got through it.
The frame had to be sandblasted, and then Dom has done a fantastic paint job.
Brilliant.
It's going to be incredible riding that.
Say that now.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
So you guys have got a lot of riding to do. I think you need a little test ride, don't you?
I think we do, don't we?
Well, let's go outside and give it a go.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Come on in. I've got the door.
Roger.
Dom, Join us, come on.
Thank you. Look at this. You've been on a tandem before?
I've never been, and I'm never going to go
Never
on one.
Yeah, good luck. Who's at the front?
You don't know
Got
yet.
to be John, isn't it?
I tell you who'd be laughing now. Deborah be laughing now.
Here we go.
When I got back on that tandem, it did take me back riding the bike with Deb when we were both young and having a good time in France.
You must be proud, Tim, eh? It's
Oh,
looking gorgeous.
yeah, it looks brilliant.
I think my sister would be extremely happy.
Well done, well done.
They've done such a fantastic job that it actually not only looks amazing, but it was really lovely to ride as well.
You ready for Brighton then, yeah?
Not quite, but we'll get there.
Bit more practice, I think.
Good on you. These guys have worked really hard. Do you mind if they have a go?
No.
Is that okay? That'd be amazing. Right, Dom.
All right.
Come on then, Tim. Let's do
Ready?
this. You all right? Here we go. Okay.
Right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Come on, Ed.
Whoa!
All right?
That's it. Good on you, lad. Good on you.
All right.
Where are you going? It looks like you're not going to get your bike back. I think they're off to France.
Yeah, well.
Wow. Come back.